Hi, this is Michael Spoke. I'm the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. We're going to deal with part 2 of this topic that speaks about things that mentally strong people do. Things that mentally strong people do in life. And as a young man, I've said that it is very, very important to prioritize to have a strong mind, because if you are not mentally strong, this life is going to beat you up. This life is going to mess up with you as a young man. And this is the reason why many things have become so difficult in life. But tough people will actually always be able to stand. People with strong minds, people that will be able to absorb challenges. Now, I want to speak today about mentally strong people. They embrace change. Embrace mentally strong people that embrace change, and they welcome challenges as well. They don't just embrace change, but they welcome challenges as well. Now, this is very important, that as a young man, you develop an ability to embrace change. Life is about change, and change cannot be avoided. Change is part of our lives, and that is why, even as a young man, you'll realize that you've been a baby before. You've been a toddler, and therefore you became a teenager. And after that, as a young man, wherever you are growing, and every time you grow, there's a change. And a change within your life, change within the inside of you and outside of you as well. And I'm sure you've realized that some of you, as a young man, you've started developing some beard and so on. It's because there's a change in your life. It's because you're growing, and progressively so. It's because you're going to meet different challenges that are not the same like yesterday. And I want us to understand that with every change that comes, we need to embrace it, because change cannot be avoided. Because being afraid of change, you are therefore, as a young man, afraid of life, because life is about change. And I want you to understand that the change that we're looking at is a change in life generally, because you've realized that even environment change. You are actually growing in one place, you will move to another place, and you'll find yourself getting a job somewhere where you're working in a different place as well. Another change comes with the people around us, because some of the people that we grew up with are not the same people that you're with today. Change has taken place. And you'll realize that also how you look. You are not looking the same like you were in the past years. Why? Because change comes along. Now, there are also things that are changed by seasons as well. And when you look at seasons, and I want you to look at generally the seasons that God has made, that summer cannot be the same like winter. And winter cannot be the same like spring. And of course, spring is not the same like autumn. So in other words, there will always be a change, even outside. Change in temperatures, change also in seasons, change also in circumstances as well. No, change cannot be avoided in life. And that is why life is actually needing people that are mentally strong. When you're not mentally strong, you're going to meet challenges, you're going to meet changes that you may not be able to handle. And when you cannot handle changes in your life, you are going to die young. You are going to actually launch yourself even in wrong behaviors. We have seen young men that launch themselves into drugs, and some of them are drowning themselves with alcohol. And there are those that are actually not facing reality because they cannot take change. Now, some of the changes is that you have to start working as a young man. As you grow, you become more responsible, and therefore most of the things that your parents were doing for you are not applicable anymore. You must fend for yourself. So therefore, that's another change that you must embrace. Adulthood as a change that you need to embrace as well. And those things are facing you, because you must be responsible. You must be a young man that is accountable as well of what you're doing. Now, when we are speaking about change, we are speaking about challenges as well. We cannot speak about change and ignore the fact that every change comes with its own challenges. And for an example, when you are growing up from being a teenager as a young man and you become an adult, it comes with its own baggages. It comes with its own responsibilities. When you become an adult, it becomes with its own burdens as well. Now, you have to be able to be accountable and responsible. You have to have a certain discipline that comes along with adulthood. And that's the change that we're speaking about. There are challenges that you face now that you see in these changes. Now, some changes are physically, some changes are spiritually, we're having some changes psychologically, and some changes come with environment as well. Let's deal with some few changes that come in life. Some of the changes physically would be that your health changes and you become different because maybe you're sick, maybe you are now diagnosed with a chronic sickness, and change therefore steps in. Some physical changes is whereby you're coming into becoming a family person now, and you have been a young man who's not married, now you're married, and that's a change on its own because the responsibilities that comes with that becomes different. Now, some of the changes, of course, they come with relocation and being in certain environments, certain places. You're not staying in the same place anymore. And some of you would have moved from your original country of birth. You're staying in another place, and that's a change on its own. Some of you change because is the change that you're facing is you're changing jobs. Maybe you're employed somewhere where you were not employed before. You've lost a job and you are faced with different challenges in life. Now, I want to emphasize that mentally strong people would know that challenges are part of life. So therefore, they would actually be ready to tackle every challenge that comes their way. They don't find every challenge to be pushing them to think of killing themselves. They don't find every challenge that comes to be pushing them to take drugs. Not every challenge should actually push you to go into drowning yourself with alcohol. Be fixed and disciplined, and make sure that you stand the test of time and become a change agent in life. And because when you start to become a change agent as a young man, you are able actually to determine the type of change that you expect in life, and you are able also to accept and embrace change easily when you yourself you are a change agent. And I want to emphasize that change agents are not developing only out of people that are not hardworking. Change agents are people that are hardworking, and change agents are people that are thinking broadly, out of the box, people that are thinking innovatively and creative instead of waiting for things to dictate for them. Listen to this, that the changes that come, some we can prevent, some we cannot prevent. Now, therefore, a young man that is mentally strong will be the one that will stop those changes that are actually going to be detrimental to them, that they can change, and those changes that you cannot control and change, and you must adapt to that. You must be able to be strong and be able to face them strongly and say, I'm not going to crumble in the midst of the change. Now, remember that some of the changes are changes that will hit you hard. They're abrupt, and some of them are actually gradual as well. And it may even be better to handle a change that is gradual because you see it coming and you see it slowly coming, and you can maybe prepare yourself. What about abrupt changes? Mentally strong people are able to stand even abrupt challenges, whereby it's a change that comes abrupt, it comes with its own challenges, but always they are able to cope with that. And how do you cope, therefore, as a young man, a mentally strong young man, with changes? You must be able to cool down and calm down and think straight. Clear your mind from any anxiety, because when you are anxious, you cannot think straight. When you are anxious, you cannot plan. When you are anxious, therefore, you cannot face situations with a sober mind. So therefore, be calm, breathe deep, and drink some water, and actually calm down. And calm down your demeanor. And therefore, remove every anxiety. Remove every worry from your mind, because when you are anxious, you cannot be mentally strong. You cannot actually think straight, and you cannot plan yourself out of that challenge, and you cannot be able to handle challenges when you are actually panicking within yourself and anxious within yourself. And that is very key as a young man, that challenges will come, and they will come with changes, and therefore, as a mentally strong young man, you definitely need to be able to stand strong when there are changes in life, And also when changes come with challenges, be strong and be resolute in your life. I want to end up here today. Your host, Maikona Spokane. Thank you very much for listening to us. We will actually embark on part 3 tomorrow, and I hope you're going to join us. But in the meantime, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on that notification button so that you may be notified of the videos that we post going forward. And I believe you've learned out of this as a young man. Please join us tomorrow as we deal with part 3. May the good Lord bless you, and cheers for now.